My classroom management project, since I don't have a classroom, I went ahead and used my son and niece, who are both 5 and in kindergarten. My husband and I talked about some things that we could do when they got home from school, because stuff was really chaotic when they first started school and would come home and everything was everywhere, they were into everything, and it was just crazy. So we discussed and said we need to come up with something that's going to work. My son was recently diagnosed with ADHD, and they had been working on a visual schedule at school. So I told my husband, I said, maybe a visual schedule would work and work for, my niece as well. So we made a visual schedule to go with our stuff. And the 3 things that we decided that we wanted to work on, and you can work on it in the classroom, but our first one was to follow directions the first time. Our second thing that we wanted to work on was ask permission to leave the snack table. And then our third thing was to have a calm voice while working on sight words and letters. So when we decided to come up with our visual schedule, we were like, what do we want them to do? So the first classroom norm that they're working on is following directions the first time. They have to do the first 5 things on the visual schedule. So the visual schedule that we came up with, first they come in and they take out their folder, their take-home folder from their backpacks and put it on the kitchen counter. Next, they have to hang up their backpack and their coat. Then they have to try potty, wash their hands, and then go sit at the counter for snack. Those 5 things, once they've done those 5 things independently on their own, then they earn a chip, a poker chip, for doing that. Then the next thing is activity time, which means they can play with toys or work on an art project or whatever they really want to do, for a little while. And then after about, 10-15 minutes of them playing, then we bring them back so we can work on our sight words and our letters. When they ask permission to leave the snack table, then they can get another poker chip. When we first started the visual schedule, we walked them through it. We said, this is what we're going to do. These are the things that are on it. You need to follow them. First 5 you should be able to do by yourself. If you do, you get a poker chip. And the poker chips that they earn, they get rewarded at the end of our sight word letter time. So the rewards that they get is, it's 1 poker chip equals 1 Smartie, 2 poker chips equals 1 M&M, and 4 poker chips equals 1 Gummy Lifesaver. So, which they really like getting the candy, so it makes them want to do the work longer, because the more chips they get, the more candy they get. When we first started doing this, we had switched on our schedule. Right after snack, we jumped into doing the letters and the sight words instead of playtime. But after having a long 8-hour day of school, we decided they needed playtime, because it just got they were burnt out. They didn't want to do it. So I started taking data. And it's kind of hard to see, but we did it to where if they did the first 5 things on the visual schedule, that they were asked to do, they got a happy face. If they didn't and they needed a reminder or 2, then they got a straight face. And then if they didn't do it at all, then they just got a sad face. I know it's kind of hard to see on here, but for a week, it was Juliet had all happy faces for the first 5 things, and Wyatt had some straight faces because he needed 1 or more prompts to remind him of what he needed to get done. On asking permission for snack, Juliet, she got all smiley faces, and Wyatt, he actually did pretty good. He got all smiley faces except 1. He needed a reminder that he needed to go and ask for permission and also to take his trash and throw away. Then for Calm Voice, 1 week they both got smiley faces all the way except for the last day of the week. Wyatt got mad and started yelling. So he did not get a happy face for that one. We found that having the chips and the rewards, that it actually made it go better for them working. I came up with a behavioral intervention plan for Wyatt. I didn't need one for Juliet because she seems to just go with the flow on everything. But Wyatt, when we did sight words, when we started, he was frustrated because he had trouble reading the sight words. He didn't know them. Juliet knew them like that, and that was making him upset. So he'd yell sometimes. He would act like he was going to hit somebody. He was so upset. So I came up with a way that when he gets mad, he needs to take a deep breath and count to 10. And if that doesn't work, then he needs to go sit somewhere by himself, away from us, and then come back when he is calm and he can do it. I have noticed since we've started this that he's gotten a lot better at being calm and being able to work, and I'm impressed by their progress. Juliet knows all her letters. She knows all her sight words for kindergarten. She's ready for first grade sight words. Wyatt knows all his letters. He knows all the pink sight words. He knows almost all of the orange sight words, and he knows a few of the purple sight words. So he's getting there. They've really done a great job. The communication that we had is, besides talking with my husband about things, is I talked with my brother and my sister-in-law, and I said, these are what we're going to do. This is, we're going to do a visual schedule. This is what they need to do, and they thought it was a great idea. They're very happy with the progress that Juliet's making. Also, the reason that my husband sometimes does the stuff, like records the data or gets them started, is the days that I work, he has to pick up the kids, and so he starts them on their schedule and the steps that they need to do. So, but all in all, I think it's paid off. So, how long?